Ripper Magoo podcast. Attaboy, Michael. I know you can do a pretty good impression
Ripper
of me.
Magoo podcast we have here.
Well, you may not recognize that voice. That's an impression of me. But the man standing to my right is Michael Pena. And
That's right.
By the way,
I can do this for the whole show.
love
I'm
it. This
good.
is what I want.
Already you're starting off with a banger,
this is
dude.
all I want. But all I'm
Yeah.
saying is we ran out of fucking paper and ink, basically printing out your fucking resume at IMDb.
Yeah.
You are in every movie. Let me read some of them here. We got American Hustle, Crash, End of Watch, fucking...
Wait, move your beard, dude. I can't see it.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Don't let people know my secrets, Michael. Don't let people know my secrets. So we have a list of all these movies.
What time is it in the morning, baby? Like, you can't skip over that.
I love it. I love it. But you're in fucking everything. I mean, you're Crash, American Hustle, End of Watch... Moesha, Bambi 7, Apollo 22. You're in fucking
exactly.
every movie possible. By the way, Timmy is an actor, too. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, nice.
And I kind of wanted to compare resumes,
Oh.
if we could.
Is
real
this a
quick.
dick move right from the start?
Oh,
huh?
yeah.
No, it's not.
Gloves are off.
Oh, yeah.
Time out.
Gloves are off.
Michael, it's not a dick move. It's just I'm reading each other's resumes. So
Okay.
we have, real quick, we have, like Michael said, American Hustle, Crash, and to watch. There's like 60 movies. We go to Timmy's. Spam. That's it. Spam.
It's coming out.
So you are how are you? I mean, it seems like you never fucking stop working.
Yeah, well, dude, I struggled for, I'm going to say 15 years. I lived in a shoebox, basically. Like, my now wife, like, I was dating her a year. She never even saw my studio apartment once. Because I was like, nope, you don't get to see that. So she probably thought I was homeless.
Right.
And I struggled for so long that now I have this fear that if I stop working, it's gonna stop.
Did you live? Because I read something. You lived in a van. Is that so,
Down by the river.
Oh,
down by
boy.
the river?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
No,
was
but it wasn't true though. Did you really live? Because I lived in a car for 2 months. I like have.
Did you really?
I did 2
I
months.
somehow believe that.
I lived. Fuck you. I did it for 2 months. I lived in a car.
It was a Toyota, right?
It was a no. It was a
Festiva.
It was a Jeep Cherokee. I would have a membership at the YMCA when I was caddying at Wilshire.
Yeah.
I didn't really tell anybody. And I fucking went to sleep, woke up at 5 a.m., went to the YMCA.
Hold on. Did you say you went to sleep? Because I
Exactly.
don't think you sleep.
Exactly. Went to shower at the YMCA, went to try and get a loop, and then...
Yeah, it's kind of the
got it.
same thing, dude. I was there was a studio apartment and at these places called the Oakwood Apartments. I don't know if you guys ever heard of
Is
them.
it on Forest Lawn?
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's where. Okay, that's another one. So I was at the Oakwood Apartments about 24 years ago when I first got into town, and I like an idiot, I gave myself 3 months to make it in Hollywood because I didn't know any better. I'm like, it's either that or like I was gonna go to business school. I'm like, I finally got a part. It was like, token Mexican dude, which is great. And I got a part. I went home just for a week, came back. I asked my roommate what happened to our apartment. He's like, oh, dude, we got evicted, man. I was like, great. So I was living in a van, and there's a huge box. I've never even seen this before in my life. Huge box of cereal, and I ate that for a week, and I was taking showers at the clubhouse.
I love it. Success story right there.
Yeah.
And now you got fucking Tom and Jerry's coming out.
Yeah, and
just
I got
filmed that?
fucking Tom and Jerry,
Tom and
kids
Jerry.
movie,
And it's
fucking
not
kids movie.
animated, is it? Is it animated?
It's like live action, so it's like all the animals will be animated, and we will not be. It's me and Chloe Moretz.
Is it like how Lion King did it? The way they shot Lion King?
I didn't see Lion King.
I don't know. It's all weird with. It's like. It's
So
like,
you do watch a lot of kids
no,
movies?
I watched-
If you don't have any kids,
I watched
you're
Lion
like,
King.
You're
and it was
well
just,
versed in
Wow.
this.
No,
He said
I
it.
watched.
He said
I
it, not me.
fucking
I did
watched.
not say it.
By the way,
It's
listen.
like, is it like Lion King? Is
No,
it like
I'm
the
single,
Jungle
and-
Book? Is it?
I'm single.
We
I
flew
have
one
girls
time,
over, and the
Little
best
Mermaid.
movie to put
He
on is
loves
fucking
Little
Lion
Mermaid.
King. I've seen that shit 9 times. It's on repeat.
Fast and the Furious. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We just flew to Massachusetts. I watched Peaky Blinders, Little Mermaid, Frozen. Repeat.
So you obviously,
Wait. You can't skip on that,
I
buddy. boy.
transition when he brings up something.
Wait
I
a
don't wanna
minute.
talk about.
Did you really?
No,
Frozen?
Let it go. What's
No,
it called? Let
my
it flow.
my move is this. Listen, I'm single, right? So if you have a girl over, it's a good thing to watch like Lion King or Frozen or
Aladdin.
fucking
It's
Aladdin.
another
What are
one.
they gonna think of you? They're gonna think you're a
Like
serial
a-
killer.
No, they're gonna think like a,
Oh,
He's got a soft heart and he's romantic.
Oh, you held your
and
order. You
yes,
said that.
Yes.
exactly.
They would turn me on.
So I'm doing.
son of a.
Who are we talking about?
So I did the right
The
thing.
movie. It's the movies. It's the movies.
Oh, yeah.
I'm taking a lot of shit for nothing. I have a question for you though, because you're established, you're fucking killing it, you're doing well. So what I'm kind of dealing with now that we were talking about earlier is what do you do when somebody, like for instance, like Timmy's an actor, right?
Yeah.
And somebody comes up to you like, Michael, I'm an actor. Put me in a movie, and it might be a close friend of yours. Like for favors, how do you deal with favors?
Like Bob Menery or something like that.
like yeah, exactly.
Like we were just throwing names out.
Yeah, like
it rhymes with
like,
Smosh Menery.
Yes, exactly, exactly. But if somebody's like a buddy of yours, like, hey, put me in a movie, because I know people are picky. They're like, fuck it, it's my career. I'm not helping anybody. I'm not doing anything. Do you help people try and plug people in different movies if they ask you to, or no?
I mean, I try to, but I'm like, I've had very little success. I'm like, why not? If you win, everyone wins.
Right.
But it's tough because I'm like a character actor, so I'm like doing different stuff all the time, and I'm like, you're not going to really flow and mesh with the narcos.
Right.
You know? Like you'll need a tan and you need to speak Spanish, but like,
Right.
It's kind of tough. Cesar Chavez, that's another tough one.
That was your big one. Narcos was your big moneymaker, right?
Well, that was on Netflix. It doesn't. It's not at the box office.
Of it. All I
But
know
you
is-
actually shot it in Colombia, right? You were there for a while, weren't you?
Yeah, I shot it in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
You guys are amazing with
Data?
research. I just
Data
gotta say,
research?
Tyler,
it's like
star.
Michael.
it's like 0 for 2. It's like
Yeah.
Michael,
It
understand
made a lot
this.
of money. Then it was out on Netflix, which is kind of free almost.
Well, it was
Colombia,
critically acclaimed.
nope, Mexico. Here we
We
go.
did, and this is how we always do it. We do zero preparation.
I know.
I do no preparation
You
whatsoever.
have a black and
I
white.
have
Look, we
fucking.
were
I
ready.
have
We were
47
ready.
IMDb pages. I have notes that I tried to write down that I'm not fucking looking at.
Yeah, exactly.
Because last night, actually, the serious thing was I was like, all right, because I always tell myself, like, all right, we got the guy who like killed Bin Laden 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, I should do some research, and I'll be like, oh, the game's on, fuck it.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not,
exactly.
I just don't care enough. But
Where do you do your Instagram posts? Do you do them in the restroom?
I do them wherever I can. I do so like if something comes up, so we'll be
No,
like,
but just be honest. Do you do them in the, like while you're,
my best place.
using the utilities?
No, the best place to do it is in the car. I
knew it,
go
yeah.
in a car because nobody's around. I shut the doors and the sound. I do it all on my fucking cell phone. So I'll see a clip.
And you
come
could
up.
do that even though the paparazzi are shooting you. You could still do that.
Only at Craig's,
You
though.
know, we're not.
Only at
We're not.
Craig's.
Actually, I've never
Where
had.
he calls the paparazzi.
Exactly.
I set up like 17.
Hey guys, I'm gonna be. I just want you to know that I'm going to Craig's, L.A. 7:30.
I set up 17,
them all.
12-year-olds
DMs them
outside
all.
of Craig's. I set them all. Well, it was outside of Craig's once. The only time I got hit by paparazzi was there was 5 12-year-olds standing outside of
Again?
Craig's. That's my
Watching Frozen.
demographic. They're all
Watching Frozen, and all of a sudden he's like, I gotta go.
This is scary shit. But no, that was the only time. There was like 5 kids outside of Craig's. They came up to me and they were like, Bob, and then finally, who is this
Bob,
guy?
Bob.
Took a picture and that was it. We're gonna get that fucking price one.
He's pretty good, dude.
What 12-year-old kid's like, Bob, we need to take a picture.
It was so. Hold on. So what is? I want to know the process for you, like obviously, because I was into acting back in the day. Timmy's obviously an actor-ish, whatever. What's
All day I get drilled. All day I just get drilled.
No, it's fun. It's fun. You can bust my balls too. It's fun.
It's fun. It's fun for Bob.
Fucking fun.
It's very fun
But
for
he
Bob.
can. Why he can bust back at me like you're busting my balls,
Yeah.
and you know. But what's like the hardest role for you that you've gotten into to the point of like, the Joker, right? Loses his fucking mind.
Oh
gets
man,
so into it.
great movie, huh?
Yeah, fucking amazing movie.
Yeah. The only for me, the only time that I was not able to, but like I think end of watch. For me, I spent about 5 months with Jake Gyllenhaal just studying that stuff, and unless you're like a big star like a Leonardo DiCaprio or somebody like that, like you don't have that much time in between gigs, and so sometimes I have like a week, like in between Narcos and I forgot what movie. No, I didn't have one day. I had to be in Mexico the following day. I think I was shooting Ant-Man 2 and then Narcos Mexico on a Friday, and I finished on a Thursday. So that one I had 5 months, and I really got into it. I wish I had more time. But that one we went on ride-alongs like 3-4 times a week, and it was like a 9-to-5 job. We we were working out together. We were doing tactical training, weapons training. Like sparring, and after 5 months of that, like it almost becomes like it's not even acting, which is the best.
Was there I read something, I did do research, by the way, because I did read something. Were you involved like a gang shootout, or is that just bullshit when doing one of those ride-alongs?
You know what's crazy? Like, no, like what you read was correct. We weren't involved in the shootout, but we showed up, and it's weird how you get like so desensitized, because at first like we were both freaking out. We're like, we're actors, and after a while you get to see some really horrible stuff like in South Central and whatnot. We had just arrived at the scene, and this guy was like, he almost got his head shot off. He was shot through the lip.
Who did it? Police officer or a?
No,
Bad guy?
No, it wasn't even a bad guy. It was a guy that was going to show up in court to testify against somebody else.
Oh shit.
So he was shot through the lip. And there was this horrible picture of me and Jake being actor guys talking about our process while the guy's laying down, like, bleeding.
Oh boy.
You know what I mean? But it was taken out of context.
You guys
but-
are just dicks. That's
Yeah,
that's a
exactly.
fucking
No,
dick
we were,
move.
but it was, no, he was fine, though. He was fine, but he was shot through the lip. It was,
He stayed alive though.
Yeah, he was alive. I don't think he testified,
So
though.
how does that get set
that
up though?
bad?
So like when you have to do that, and they're like, "Hey, we want you to get into the role," as like as like a
You go more as a spectator. You're doing code, like it's called code 3. So basically, like sirens and lights just go on, and you're running red lights or whatnot. So it's like it's super exciting. Like your adrenaline is going up.
Are you guys in the
like
back
crazy.
seat?
We're in the back seat.
And the cops just like don't talk to me. They're just dialed in.
No, they're totally dialed in,
Right.
and they're going really fast down these side streets, and then you show up, but you're in the peripheral. Like you're not really into the action, but it was still like invaluable. It was unbelievable.
Do they brief you on like protocol? If this happens, this is what to do. What to do?
Yeah,
So if, like,
stay in the
shit goes-
car, stay in the car, stay in the car.
Stay in the car.
That's it.
Cool. That's fucking crazy.
It is crazy.
That's
Yeah.
insanity.
You said something earlier when you moved to those apartments, and you said I moved to Hollywood, and I gave myself 3 months to make it. You don't know any better. Really, you don't know any better until you get here, and it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And now, if you went to school to be an accountant, a lawyer, or a doctor, after a certain amount of time, even if you got C's the whole time, you can become a successful doctor, lawyer,
Yeah.
or accountant. As an actor, you can't. And you've been doing this for how long now?
24, 25 years.
So it's almost a residency, and you kept getting a little better, a little bit of bigger roles, and it's like you got to put that much time after you study as an actor in the town, grinding it out, being let down, being told this and that, and if you can kind of break through, you will break through.
Yeah, I kind of had like it's almost idiotic and almost crazy to think that you know what, I'm gonna make it. Like we have a bunch of friends like like professional golfers. And golf is so hard, even though you just won $11,000. Like golf is really
The
hard.
IRS is listening. Keep it down.
Yeah, but it's for charity. It was on your Instagram.
It's
Remember?
the Bob Menery Foundation. Yeah,
yeah,
it's great.
exactly. The
Yeah.
Bob Menery Foundation.
Great. Yeah, wired exactly into the Zap account. Love it.
Exactly.
Exactly, Michael. Exactly. Actually, the whole time.
Wow.
This app goes
You know
to
what? I think the
Magoo.
whole time we just talk like this. So, Michael, do you ever get nervous when you perform? Actually, back on that though, real quickly, nerve thing. Because I remember when I met Michael playing golf, because we met on social media, right? I think we met on Grindr, or not on Grindr.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Grindr. No, we met on we met through DMs or something like that. I think we started talking right through social.
No, I think it was like Pebble Beach. You're like, hey man, what's going on? I was like, hey buddy.
Oh, I accosted
But you reached out.
Okay. I reached out. But I remember when I had time to spend with Michael, and I asked him, I was like, do you ever get nervous? And it was actually a really interesting answer you gave me. You were like, I fucking always get nervous. Is that
All
what
the
you-
time.
All the time.
All the time.
So so explain that. Like, what does that mean?
Well, it's kind of a thing where if I don't feel nerves like when I'm acting, I kind of suck.
Ooh.
And that's not good for me. There's like my concentration gets better. It's almost like when you're playing for money or anything like that, like in golfing, it kind of like puts on these you just focus, like you're in a tunnel and you prepare more, so your dreams, like I read it right before I go to bed. What's the best possible way for me to do the scene? And so you have a definite goal, and you're trying to make it better than what the writing is. You're trying to, like think of story, and then you have these choices that was the only way for me to actually get jobs, because I was going up against like these models and stuff, and I was like, oh man, I'm like this Mexican kid from Chicago. It's gonna be tough. I'm like 5'9", whatever. It was competitive in the beginning, and I just kind of kept that going. The only way that I was going to get any jobs was to think outside the box, and to try to make it better than what the writing was. And a lot of times I would give somebody some notes, even though it was like a guest star or whatever. I wouldn't get the part, and then I would see it, and they would use my note. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So maybe it's I can get somewhere with this. So I just invest so much in it that I end up feeling some adrenaline, and for me it's always a great thing. And I also have to prepare, like the more successful you get, the more pressure there is. like if it's a $90 million movie and then it's you and somebody else, like there's a lot of pressure to perform. And I just try to embrace it. But more than anything, I try to out-prepare it. I try to out-prepare the nerves, the potential nerves, because it's always going to be there. I've seen even the biggest of stars just not get it. And it's the people that really care. And they, start forgetting their lines, and they just don't have it. And I never thought of it as like it was going to hinder me in any way. I just had to prepare for it.
Are you good at memorizing lines?
I was thinking the same thing.
No.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's really hard because there's one of two ways that you could do it.
Especially when it's so many, but there's so many fucking with his thing. It's like normally for us or whatever, it's like little bit parts, but for you, it's a fucking whole movie. For Timmy, it's like
3 pages. I have one line
For Timmy,
today
it's
in
like
a
change your
horror
oil.
movie.
It's like Timmy, I think we can remember that. You know what I mean?
And you're like, Buffalo
And I'm
Wild
like,
Wings.
Buffalo Wild, roar. They're like, got that?
You're
We
like-
nailed that one, guys.
You're like, yeah, exactly. You're reading.
But this
while
guy's
you're
got to
performing.
fucking read Harry Potter 7 every fucking day, you know?
Yeah, but
But go ahead. You said there's
But
two
there was
ways.
two different ways for people to do it. One is to memorize how you're going to say it. And then you can tweak that. If you're like, especially musicians and people like that, like
Okay,
they can do that. They're musical. They can memorize how they're going to say it, and then, they feed off. But it doesn't. You're not really interacting. And then the other way, which is I try to do, is to memorize, or just instead of memorizing, just really know the ideas. And I used to coach, any friends that would come in, and I said the best way to react with someone is like, tell me how you got here, give me directions. And they would say, yeah, I went this way, I went that way, blah, blah, blah. And it's normally like 10 seconds. And I say, do it again. And then I make them do it like 5 times. And then while they're recalling exactly how they got here, they remember that this happened and that happened. And, oh, yeah, this is a place where I'm like, it was really stupid, crazy night. He's like, that's rehearsing. So you're running the ideas over and over and over again. And then you're just going to explain them to someone. It might be stupid, like actor thing,
No,
but
I
that's
get
the
it.
way that I can rehearse a bunch.
We're seasoned actors, too.
and never get bored of it. And it's
It is rehearsal.
but it's
preparation.
visualizing because, like, a lot of your fans are golfers and they have to visualize, and you visualize. And I'm sure when you were playing for those $11,000, you were visualizing.
I was visualizing.
Shekels.
Charity.
Do you know, though, I was, because I shot Billions.
I did fucking billions.
I did fucking Billions for one, thing. I forget, but Brian
Scene stealer.
Brian
He's a
Col-
real scene
No,
stealer.
I love how he says fucking in between the worst possible, in the worst possible.
When did I
combination.
use it? When did I use fucking?
I just shot fucking. And I was like, billion.
But I did it, and obviously, I didn't know because I never been on an acting set before. They asked me to just do it, whatever, blah blah. I showed up the night before. They gave me.
You see the care that he has, and he's like, so I shot it, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but they gave me the whole lines that I needed to memorize, and then I was in New York City, flew in. I was like, all right, the day before, I'm going to spend all this time memorizing the lines. Obviously, my buddy calls me. He's like, there's this party going on, blah, blah. I'm like, let's just do it. Go to the party, show up to Billions. I don't know any of my lines. So I'm panicking.
Who was your co-star? You had a pretty big sports guy.
No, it was Rich Eisen.
Yeah, okay.
We were doing the
So
fight.
you have a seasoned sports announcer, Rich Eisen, and you got Zipper Magoo
And Rich-
coming in with no
Rich-
lines.
I love how you mess up his name. It's Ripper Magoo.
God.
You got Zipper Magoo here.
Rich was
Chad
the most
Menery.
prepared ever. Rich was sitting there so prepared I'm hungover. I've slept 2 hours. And then finally they're like, all right, ready to go. I'm like, fuck. And I thought they filled out a whole entire arena because it was a boxing match.
Oh, you texted me about that actually.
Yes.
And I think you texted me, how do you prepare it? I was like, dude, just run it. And you're like, great, thank you very much. You go party.
Didn't do that.
Didn't do that.
How many times did you look directly into camera? When
Oh, fucking, I was just standing there being like,
Cindy Brady.
and a punch to the right, punch to the left. I didn't know what I was doing, but I had lines, and the problem was I kept fucking it up over and over and over again, and it was so embarrassing because the whole entire place has to reset and everything.
Yeah.
And finally, I'm like this. I'm like, guys, I don't know my lines. I don't know this shit. So they're like, oh my god, whatever, blah blah. So they just had me improv some shit, but I learned my lesson.
Very hireable.
I'm not fucking with that shit
I
anymore.
probably wouldn't share that story for.
Oh, no.
I'm not
a
fucking-
We can cut it out. You can
edit
edit it out.
It's just-
You were
yeah.
fine on it.
But I used to, by the way,
You
if you Google my name, I was an acting coach. At 22 years old, I should be in jail. I pretended that I knew acting because I needed to make money.
I knew acting.
I pretended I knew. No, I
knew
had time out.
fucking acting.
I had kids.
That's like saying, you know what? I went to the NFL Combine because I thought I knew how to football. I'm like, that's not how you say it.
I knew how to.
I had the library, my public library. I taught 10 different students, and I had a pretend class. I charged $30 an hour and pretended.
Oh my God!
Google my
I did
name
not know
on there
this.
right now. I created a fake.
Was it your real name or was it Ripper Magoo?
It was Robert Menon. It was before. It was after.
Robert, Michael.
It was after New
Robert,
York.
not Bob.
Not Zipper
Robert.
Magoo.
So I know a little bit of this. I know Lauren has some questions for Michael. Lauren is diehard Michael Pena fan. by
Yeah.
the way.
Here we go.
The only one
dying.
prepared. No.
These are the
The
hard,
only,
these
no,
are
the
the
only
hard questions.
The only fucking normal one in the room.
The only fucking normal
The
one.
only fucking normal one, Michael.
Okay, so you play so many different roles: comedic, action, drama. What is your favorite genre?
It kind of balances it out. Like when I'm doing a comedy.
Can you talk in my voice while explaining this?
When I'm doing a comedy. No, when I'm doing a comedy or anything with humor, then you're like you can't wait to dive into some drama, and I kind of am dipping into more, like because I watch all these movies with my kid and Bob Menery.
Is he a fan? How old is he?
He's 11 years old.
Perfect.
And when your kid is watching this and he's laughing and he's having a great time and he's like, that was the best movie ever. You kind of want to be in those movies.
Oh, I thought he was watching my videos.
No, he doesn't get your videos.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Son of a bitch.
God damn it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah. So I mean, it's when you're doing one, you want to do another.
And when you're doing all these comedies, do you do a lot of the improv on there, or is it kind of just?
I improv a little bit, but I mainly write my alts, and I treat it like like I would drama, where I like look at the scene, because the one thing with when you improv is that if you don't improv in context, then it gets taken out, and they don't use it. So
Can you explain what alts are? I'm sure people that don't
alternative
know.
lines. So like how you said Zipper Magoo.
Yeah.
Like I would be like, oh, okay, that's cool, calling somebody by
Close, but not.
close, but no cigar.
Yeah.
And so that's I would write different alternative lines for that.
Got it.
Options.
So
as
did
they
you
say.
improv the scene with Dax Shepard and Chips? When
Oh,
you-
yeah, she loves
your
that scene.
face just like implanted. In
the
his
cock
skull.
one.
Yeah.
The one you get slapped in the cock in the face.
Yeah.
Was it his real cock?
No, it actually was in his stomach.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, "Come on, dude, just do it." I was like, "No, I'm good, man. I don't think you have to."
You didn't want the cock
No,
in
no.
your face.
I was like,
Yeah. That's a tough commitment.
yeah. But you know what was really the funniest thing to me about that scene, was the Merkin that he used.
Oh, gross.
For his pubes.
You want to tell everybody what a Merkin is?
A
Well,
Merkin.
yeah, I don't know about this. I want to know about the Merkin.
A
I'm paying attention
Merkin,
now.
was something that old prostitutes used to use because they had to shave their pubes.
Oh, that's
because of crabs, and so they would put on a wig
For your
for the-
privates.
so that it looked like they had pubic hair.
Got it.
And so Dax Shepard, because his own pubic hair wasn't high enough, he raked in some help.
Oh my God. Anyway, now you know what you're getting for Christmas from me.
You're getting a Merkin, baby.
Merry Christmas.
The Ripper Magoo
The
Merkin.
Ripper Magoo Merkin. It's coming.
How do you get though back to whatever? How do you get in so much shit? Like you're in everything. Like,
And so much shit.
how do you like?
You
no,
have
how-
such reverence for the.
Well, I'm from Boston, but how do you get in like every movie? How are you so
He
busy?
just told you he prepares. He
No,
writes
but I'm saying
alternative lines and-
who's your agent? Jesus Christ! Like who the fuck is? How do you get in everything? Like literally, you're in every fucking thing. Like
Well-
you turn the TV, you see you everywhere.
Well, here's the thing. Like right now, I have like a month and a half off, and there's some options of scripts, and I want to read all of them. So I'm in the fourth of the 12 that they've sent me, and I actually read everything. Unlike you,
No, yeah,
like
no.
I actually you don't
Fuck
even
that.
prepare.
No.
No, I read every script, and there's one that I really love. And there's interest for me in one part where I was like, nah, I don't want that part. I want, I'm trying to compete against a bunch of people for the part that I'm not necessarily right for. And so it's still a hustle, man. Still a hustle.
Now, you don't have to audition anymore, do you?
No, but I have to go in because they know what I can do. But I have
Right.
to go in there, and it's almost harder than auditioning because you have to read the entire script and you have to really have a take on, and because I always tend to change it.
Okay.
And hopefully we see eye to eye, and they see that I'm changing it for the better.
When you go in, like, is it a table read or just you and the writer, producer, director? Like, who's in?
Normally it's just me and the director.
Okay.
And we just
Vibe.
we just vibe it out, and I mean, there's a couple times where you both know it's not going to work.
Got it.
And you're like, nice meeting you, man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Good luck.
Yeah.
What would be like one character you'd want to play that you haven't yet? Like, I mean, like a serial killer is obviously one that an actor fucking.
Like the Joker.
Like the Joker. Like
Oh wait, they did that already.
They did it already. Do you think you could pull off the Joker?
I don't know, because I've actually I haven't signed on and stuff, but I'm like, there's been times where, the offer's there, I sit with it for a week, I love it, and then I think, you know what, I'm not going to be able to pull it off. So I'm like, it's too much of a stretch, and I couldn't find a way in, and then I'll just say, give it to somebody who can find a way in.
So you really know yourself. That's an incredible answer, man.
Well, no, because I'll hire people so that I can rehearse and put it on. When I rehearse, even if it's I remember I was in Albuquerque, my wife and kid were there or whatever, but like I would hire people from the local theater to just run lines, because people get tired of it. Like after like an hour, and you have a working actor running lines with you, they're like, "You got it, man. Let's go." They don't want to do it
grab
anymore.
a coffee.
Yeah, so I just rehearse them on my own.
So you golf too, by the way. That's how you're a big golfer.
I love golfing.
So you're doing all the pro-ams now. You can do the big ones. You do the Tahoe.
I haven't done Tahoe. I
Once
only do
again,
the Pebble
research on
Beach.
point. Once again.
By the way, weren't you at the Tahoe?
Dude, I have like a 24-hour memory. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I know.
My shit just doesn't work up here.
Delete.
But you played Pebble Beach, and by the way, Wilshire Invitational, which I am the champion of. I believe you.
Wait a minute, you won the Wilshire Invitational?
I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about it. I won as a fucking caddy at Wilshire. So, and the whole club was so fucking pissed because
You won as a fucking caddy, and the whole club was fucking pissed.
Yes.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
Yes. All right. I'll cut down.
They were fucking pissed.
No, but dude, it happened where I'm caddying for this guy, Dr. Kim. He's like this 4'3" Asian guy. He was like, "Hey, what's wrong with that?"
No,
That's
it's just,
I know. Listen, I know it's 2019, but there's nothing wrong with saying 4'3"
there's no
Asian
reason
guy.
to say like that.
He was a 4'3" Asian guy. I'm not exaggerating.
Great doctor, though.
I am
great doctor,
Yeah,
Bobby.
he's-
Great
exactly.
doctor.
I'll take a look
Really
at
good
you.
doctor.
Top
Michael,
shelf.
very good.
But
Barnes,
they
great
asked
doctor.
me. He asked me to play because his guy bailed, and it was like this big thing. Like, can a caddy play in the Invitational, the most prestigious tournament at the club?
So it's basically Caddyshack the movie. This is your life.
This is what happened.
You're
yeah.
Danny Noonan.
So listen, Michael.
Danny fucking Noonan.
I literally entered the tournament as a 12 handicap. Literally won, made a 20-foot putt, because you know how the derby goes, right? Where a derby is, they pick the 12 top teams and all the flights, and everybody goes to a derby and they eliminate as they go. 18th hole, drained a 20-foot putt to win and beat the president of the club. So yes, it is Caddyshack, and they were so mad. I remember
beat the president of the club.
bro, and I remember
At that point, did you ever think maybe I shouldn't make this if I want to stick around?
Fuck it. No, fuck that. But I remember here, right when I was about to make it, like looking at the putt, I remember this like old guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was a total fucking asshole. I remember him going, "God, I hope this fucking caddy doesn't win this thing." Heard it before I putted, and I'm like, "Let's go," and banged it in. But you were in the Wilshire Invitational with Sinrich, who I just beat for a shitload of money. I want to put that out there. And
Matt Sinrich, everybody. Matt Sinrich.
A lot of money.
11,000. By the way, that's a lot of money for golf.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money for anything.
Well, he just kept doubling down, and then he was making the worst like prop wagers. He was in the bunker. He's like, I can get up and down. I'll give you even money. I'm like, bro, done. Like he was just. He doesn't know what he's done. I'm not going to go too much into it. But you came in second place with him, right? You were his partner in the Invitational?
Yeah, there's 3 playoff holes where like it starts as I think it was like 28 teams, then it goes into 14, then 7 teams, and then or something like that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there was like a chip off.
Oh, you went to a chip off.
And
That
Matt
sucks.
Sinrich hit the best chip, and it just went a
rolled
little
out.
too far. Somebody beat us by like a foot.
What is a chip off? I don't play golf.
There's not enough daylight left, right? So they got to do like.
I don't really know, but basically it's like a short shot over a ravine.
Okay.
Right, and the green was really hard, so all the balls were rolling off. My guy, he hits it nice and high. You think it's gonna land soft, but it hits kind of like on a downslope, and it just kicks forward.
Got it.
And they measure it, so it's like one person got like 6 feet. We got like 7 feet.
Yeah, they pick the closest ball and then they win. I think it's a stupid way to do it. They should just go to 10 and do it. Keep playing until
The 10th hole.
the 10th hole.
Yeah.
But yeah, so cool. Do you have anything? I'm blanking.
But by the way, so do you like,
I just don't have fucking.
Do you have anything?
get another beer, dude?
I'm enjoying myself.
I
Here.
mean, let's fucking be honest.
I had a.
Well, I got to ask you.
I was up till
hated-
3 a.m. watching Lion King last night. You know what I mean?
I know.
I was up
I
till
know you
3 a.m.
were.
watching
I know you
Lion
were.
King.
Raging.
Did you like auditioning or did you hate it? Because I hate auditioning.
No, man, I forgot. I wrestled at this prep school, and Marist High School. It was like, I was a poor kid going to prep school, and there was one teacher. I forgot his name, but he says, if there's anything within the process of studying and you hate it, you're never going to be good at it.
Fuck.
It's a weird thing. So I know it sounds really fucking stupid, but any hardship that you have to enjoy the process. And so, but here's the thing though, dude. Like I've had friends, I've gotten them auditions and movies that I'm doing, and just really understanding what it is of casting, right? When somebody brings you in as a casting director, as a director, a producer, brings you into a movie, they want you to crush it. They're fucking praying to God.
They're
that you
rooting
crush
for
it.
you.
They're rooting for you so hard. The casting director wants to discover an unknown. The director wants to be blown away. And so there is that, they want you to do really, really well. Sometimes they get a little lazy because they got to meet 1,000 people. But the reality is that they really want you to crush it. And also, if you got to a point where you're able to audition for something that's big, that means you're good. That means you have a lot of successful actions. That means that you're doing something that other people aren't doing that can't even get that audition.
Right.
So then you focus on those things. But if you're in the room, that means you're doing something right. And so it's better to concentrate on that than concentrating on like all the negative aspects,
what you're not getting.
which could be, unlimited.
Sure. Hear that, Bobby? I'm in the room. I am in the room.
He is somebody.
I have no idea what's going on. My mind's just fucking
totally-
floating. I don't know.
Completely blacked
He's
out.
like,
Like,
he's thinking about. He's like, what am I gonna say later? Wow. he's
What's the line on the baseball game?
Yeah,
tonight?
he's practicing his. Oh my god.
who's your favorite actor that you look up to? That you think, or at least right now, who's the best in the game?
To me, for my money, it's Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Like that guy, just because he's a. I mean, there's obviously I think there's 5 guys who are on top of their game.
Have you worked with him yet? Or no.
A couple times, yeah.
Nice. Which ones?
Last one was American Hustle.
Okay.
American Hustle, but he's a character actor, and so him and Daniel Day-Lewis, I think, are on top of the game
yeah.
as far as character actors.
My favorite was Hoffman, but he died unfortunately. But he was
Philip Seymour.
he
Hoffman?
was so fucking good.
Oh yeah, dude, he was next level.
Capote,
He was next level. Yeah,
That was one guy that when I was trying to do the acting stuff, I would watch his shit like nonstop. He's the best in the business.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, but to me, those 2 guys are like top notchers.
Do you have any good horror stories, like stuff that happened on set that you can tell us that are funny, like crazy shit that's...
Dude, you've been to sets, like it's boring as hell, dude.
Yeah, but the dirt. We want the dirt.
Yeah.
You got any dirt? I mean, you got any fights that ever broke out between you and another actor? Or,
No, no. I'm like, I try, dude. I do. I don't know. I don't do reality TV, dude. Like it's not.
Look, I didn't do my research, Mike.
Yeah,
all right, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, when I was doing Survivor, it was tough, man. we're all trying to get some pecans.
I like his point, though. I do believe on most sets that I've been on, everyone there is working for one common cause to make some great art.
You hope so, yeah.
Right? So everyone is kind of rooting for each other. Nobody wants to see anybody fail or fuck up. Even if it comes to the lighting or the sound and the acting, everybody's kind of bonding on that project at that moment.
Yeah, and I try to show up and I try to give as much love as possible to like any of the grips, the camera guys, and I try to memorize everyone's name because you're there for 14, 16 hours.
Yeah.
And you just it doesn't take more energy to be a good guy. I think it takes more energy to be an asshole.
What about the whole thing that happened with Christian Bale? Remember that freak out he had? What's your take on that?
The only bad thing about
Yeah,
Christian Bale, he's
the only
like,
thing he got
what can I
right.
find about
No,
Christian
no,
Bale that's
no.
bad?
It's the only thing you got right today.
I just want to know what your take on it is on Christian Bale flipping out on that guy that was walking in the background. Do you
Well,
want-
I wasn't there, so I can't comment on it too much, but I do know that, like, from when I listened to it, the only time I listened to it, by the way, is on that Family Guy.
It was
Have
fucking
you guys seen
hilarious,
it?
by the way.
Oh, dude.
Oh, good
Hey,
for
what
you.
do you mean? I'm trying to. Whoa.
Kevin, can you tell
Thanks,
that?
Kevin.
Can you tell that?
Kevin.
Can you tell that story again in Bob's voice?
No,
Come on,
I just
come
know
on.
he took a lot of shit from that. I mean, really, everybody
Yeah,
went.
but he
fucking-
apologized.
But I was gonna say that, like, if you actually listen to it, and he's like, why are you doing that in the middle of a take, moving it? I've told you time and time again.
So you understand where he's
Please
coming
wait.
from.
Yeah, and plus, and Christian Bale's a really intense guy, meaning he's giving this performance a lot.
Yeah.
You can tell, like, when you get on set, like, this guy's prepared like no one else. He has big dreams for this one scene, even if it's a small scene
Yeah.
where he doesn't have any dialogue. He's off doing some stuff that his character would actually do. So he thinks about everything.
Yeah.
Right? And so you kind of get out of his way, and if you're, it's like somebody, like, you know, in the World Series right now going up to bat, and then there's somebody just really wanting to clean the home plate and make it a sparkle. And you're like, dude,
man.
get out of the way, dude. I'm swinging over here,
Right,
baby.
right.
You know, and that's
right
kinda-
when it's a full count.
it's a full count, and he's like, wait. The umpire's like, nah, I gotta clean that puppy down.
He's
There's times to do that, but not in the middle of a take when you're concentrating. You got to rev yourself up because emotions are not easy to contact sometimes.
When
So-
were you the deepest you ever dove into a role? Like where you were like, hey, stay away from me, nobody talk to me. Because you seem like a guy that, like, you do a thing, you could probably come in and out of it. What's one role that you did that you were so lost in that you were like, I'm staying in character the whole time? Or if it's every time.
I mean, to me, it's a lot. Like, you know, like it's like Crash was one of them where he.
You getting this feedback?
I love how Bob had to look to see Crash. Oh, that was a movie.
Excuse me, one
was a
second,
movie.
Mike. Just hold on here.
That was his first solo record.
He's like, I won
Got
the
it.
Oscar,
Got
dude.
it.
Come on, buddy.
Well, End of Watch. You just said End of
End
Watch.
of Watch. End of Watch was one of them, but like,
intense.
you know, because it's also fun for me to do the research, but there is something gratifying about really pouring in and doing, like, okay, like there's one scene in End of Watch where, you know, Jake's character, I think he's shot and he's gonna die. We've been talking about that scene, and I'm asking for help. I'm crying to the heavens for someone, please, to come help me save my brother. And we talked about it, where I just didn't want anyone to talk to me. And he's like, all right, who? And then the director's like, who wants to go first? You or him? I'm like, I'm going first. I let it all out. And it's like, it's almost like you don't hear anybody because you're trying to stay and you're trying to concentrate on that one thing.
Can you cry on cue?
No, it takes me a long time to rev myself up to get there. And actually, it takes a while to get revved up to anything, because it's the worst thing for me, and the thing that I don't quite like in any performance is when somebody's just being general. When somebody thinks about it as like a crying scene, or it's like, what is a crying scene? I'm like, what is that? Like, most people try not to, you know.
When you go about it, do you
Like when you're drunk right now.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like, you're trying not to act drunk. You know what I mean? And you're doing a great
Yes.
job about it.
This is the first guest that's fucked with me, and I love
Yeah.
it. And I
fucking
fucking
love
love it. I love it. So when you like,
It's not even fucking with you. You got a beer on your left hand.
this is just a prop.
It's fucking
It's a prop.
Tuesday.
This
It's
is not-
fucking
This
Tuesday.
is, hey, I'm pregame. I'm going to Lakers tonight. I got a pregame a little bit earlier. So this is a sports show, obviously. This is the funny thing is
I know, and we're talking about acting like
no, but I
crazy.
love that. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? But what's your team? Who's your sports team?
All Bears, Bulls, the Blackhawks.
Yeah, the Bears good. They're tough.
Got a Green Bay girl over
fan.
here.
I'm from Green Bay.
Oh, you are? You were so cool 3 seconds ago.
Green Bay's got a good squad though.
You know
right
what?
now, right?
My fantasy football team sucked this year, and I had a chance because Aaron Rodgers was on the waiver wire, and I was like, can't do it. Couldn't fucking do it.
Heart
You
got in the
do-
way.
And now he's crushing.
Crushing.
But I
do
couldn't
fantasy,
fucking
though?
do it.
You're-
I do fantasy. I love fantasy football.
My brother.
Fantasy golf is fantastic too.
Do you guys have penalties if you finish in like last place? Things you have to do if you finish in last?
No, do you?
So my brother-in-law is in a league, and it's the fucking best thing ever. There's 12 teams, and if you finish in last place, you have to do 10 minutes of open mic stand-up comedy. And
Oh
I was
my
like, that is fucking gold.
That's fucking brutal.
So my brother-in-law, who is like the straightest arrow, biggest nerd, like literally on the spectrum. He's fucking just.
Do I know him?
Yeah, Joe. You know, he's like
okay.
California, very
Coast to
laid
Coast
back.
Joe.
Like,
Got
yeah.
it. Yeah, sure.
he came in last place, and he was like in cold sweats in the last week, like fucking. And what they do too is, you finish last, they pack the fucking house of all friends, family, and everything, and you have to do 10 minutes of fucking stand-up.
That's unreal.
And then actually they have so many of those, like all those different cool scenarios if you do finish last, but like all the ones I heard, I'm like, that is fucking hard.
That is the best because people. I think that's the biggest fear is public speaking, isn't it?
1,000%.
Yeah, 1,000%.
1,000%.
So I can't. And did he do it?
He did it, and he was like, dude, I was so fucking nervous. He's like, I started fighting with the crowd. People were like throwing insults at me. He was like, I didn't know what to do. I was panicking, and like all his buddies were just sitting there.
But 10
up
minutes of comedy is like an eternity.
Dude, you know what the best one? It reminded me, Bill Burr.
Oh, he's the best.
Dude, he
Philadelphia.
Was it in Philadelphia that he was arguing with fucking?
I'm from Philadelphia.
Dude, he was arguing like this is the genius of fucking Bill Burr. He was arguing. The crowd was giving everyone like a fucking horrible time.
Yes.
And they were booing guys, and some of the guys came in trembling after the show. And he says, you know what? I'm gonna fuck with these guys. Fuck you guys. And he started making fun of all the Philly guys.
Sure.
Oh, he's bashing everybody in Philly. He made a joke, bashed, and it was so creative off the top, bashed everything in Philly.
Yeah.
And got a standing ovation.
And then he got a standing ovation.
That's the genius of Bill Burr.
If you're gonna do yourself a treat and listen to that shit,
I watched it on YouTube 10,000 times.
10,000 times, dude. It's
He
unbelievable.
fucking crushes the city of Philadelphia.
But they're hating him at first.
Oh yeah, of course. But he was just too funny. You know,
So
Rocky.
he flipped him though.
Yeah, he flipped him.
He flipped him.
nice.
I mean, that's the toughest thing to do in the world.
Dude, he cuts them down.
Yeah.
Dude.
By the way, who are your Green Bay? What's your team?
Philadelphia Eagles. By the way,
Carson Wentz, who I had on my squad,
Sunday,
sucks.
He's not doing great.
Not doing great.
Should have traded
Neither's
him.
Trubinsky.
He's not doing great either.
Nope.
But it's only mid-season, so
It's only mid-season.
We're playing each other Sunday. You know that.
Yeah, I mean, you could call it playing.
Patriots.
Oh, you're the Patriots, really?
Born and raised
Great.
in
I'm
Boston.
so glad that you brought that up.
I'm in
You're
Boston.
from Boston too, right? Yeah, that's right. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were from Boston.
Yeah.
But anyway, so dude, I went under. I started doing a little bit of research because I went to. I was doing something for Fox, and then I got Super Bowl tickets. I was like, this is great. This was in Atlanta. Was playing the Pats.
Last year?
No, it was like 3 years ago.
What, the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
The Rams. Rams Pats?
No. Atlanta 28-3 halftime.
Oh, that
28-3,
fucking Super
right.
Bowl.
And I was with Dax Shepard, and we were doing publicity. Or no, it was for Warner Bros. And then we didn't have any horse in the game, so we're like, whatever. Let's go check it out. And the Falcons were winning by so much. And what was crazy is it was like 3rd and long, incomplete, penalty, first down. 3rd long, incomplete, penalty.
They mismanaged
first
the
down.
shit out of that game.
Well, dude, not only that, but it happened like 4 times in a row. And me and Dax are like,
No, there was no conspiracy thing going on.
buddy.
That's
And
what
then
you're
you look,
hinting at.
and then I started
No.
looking at all the every time like in a meaningful game, just the lopsidedness of penalties and the amount of yards that it actually cost the opponent
Yeah.
is staggering.
Staggering.
And every guy from Boston is going to be like, that's not right.
No,
it's
no,
not true. It's a
no,
conspiracy.
Atlanta
Seriously,
Atlanta should have won that game. They fucking threw the ball. Remember, because Hightower hit him from behind, made him fumble. If they had ran the ball 3 times, all they had to do was kick a field goal. Patriots would have had no timeouts left with like a minute 30. They would have to get.
But they probably would have been called because there was like even on the Atlanta side they would get a first down, then all of a sudden there'd be
Holding.
There'd be like a penalty
interference.
bringing them back 15 yards. Then it's like 3rd and 25.
It was the
You know-
greatest comeback ever in the history.
Dude, the refs were
You
NFL.
know
fantastic.
that most referees
They're getting a lot
in
of
the
shit,
NFL
too, right now.
are from New England, that area.
No, they're not.
Hand to God. You can Google it, look it up.
With what?
And do you remember when they fired all the referees in the NFL and every game was 45-3? People, there were blowouts. Brands were so pissed because the games were such blowouts. They would go to a different game that was competitive, and then they hired all those referees.
I think it's good for the league if the Patriots win. If the Pats win, it's good for the league.
Is it?
Yeah, because you keep the champion on the.
If the Eagles win, it's good for the league.
Yeah, but at the same time, I come from Chicago where like Michael Jordan, I forgot who we were playing. I think it was Utah, and they would they kept calling fouls when we were down, and then in the replay, which kind of is like what New England feels like, in the replays, like you would clearly see that no one touched Michael Jordan, and what did we say? We'll take it.
Yeah, of course.
We'll take it.
Well, you remember the whole NBA thing with the refs rigging the games?
Timothy Donaghy
Timothy Donaghy.
from my hometown.
What was his deal? Did he go to jail?
He did for
went
2
to jail
years.
for
They
2
got some movie coming out.
2
based on it.
years.
For rigging fucking
Guess
basketball
what?
games.
He had 6 defense attorneys. Guess who paid the fees?
The NBA? No way.
And I read the book. It's unbelievable.
That is fucked up.
Isn't that insane? It's insane.
Yeah, right on.
That is fucked up.
And because if you read the book, he says that he never bet on the games, which is fucking bullshit.
Right.
Because if the NBA ever let it come out that the games were skewed, it'd be a big problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you gamble?
I don't that much. I'm like I went.
You pick your spots.
I was broke, dude, when I'm like my whole life. So like I went to Vegas when I was like 22, and I put $20 into the slot machine. 5 minutes later, nothing. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's the luckiest
there's no
thing
incentive
never
really,
happened to
because
you.
it's exploding right now. Obviously, all across it's legal.
No,
incentive.
golf, dude. When I play you and it's fun, it's like, okay, we'll bet for $50.
That was
Great.
the best. That was the most
Oh
fun
yeah,
day. That was
Dude,
the most fun
the
day.
craziest thing. So I went golfing with this guy, and I thought we were playing for $50.
It was me, Zurif, Tate, Golden
Tate.
Were you there the running day with Golden Tate and Zurf?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yes.
You were there for that?
Zurf is this like, he's a chubby guy.
Yes.
He's not.
So
he's not in shape.
He's not in NFL
He was the
shape.
creator of Ray Donovan, did the Tiger Phil thing. We had Golden Tate, who was a wide receiver. We had Pena, my buddy Ryan likes him. He was a fivesome. And go ahead.
And so he bets him that he can win in a foot race with a what is it, like 100 yards
100-yard dash.
with a 40-yard head start. And I was like, dude, he looks like somebody's dad. You know what I mean?
Oh, he is.
going up against Golden Tate. But you know how you have dad bod?
Sure,
But
for
he's like,
sure.
it's like when he was running, he looked like he was going to hurt himself, like bad. Like
best
he
part
was going to
about
break
it,
his
though-
femur.
The best part about it, though, was Golden Tate had just signed a $23 million guaranteed contract with the Giants. So I convinced
He's hanging out
Golden
with you
Tate.
guys.
Dude, this is Riviera Country Club, the most prestigious golf course probably in Los Angeles. LACC, Riv, top 2. Like, it's like, it's like,
Yeah.
whatever.
I get no respect.
They all speak in English accents. It's amazing.
Exactly. So Bob Menery comes on the property, Pena, all 5 of us there, and I'm like, hey, Tate, could you beat BZ in a foot race? Like he just explained. So Tate starts at the top of a hill. It's like a mounted hill where you tee off, and there's this huge slope.
Yeah.
Swell.
BZ's up here. So we start the race. BZ takes off on flat ground. When I tell you that, because I captured it on film, his knee buckled.
Whose did?
Tate's.
Okay.
When he came down that hill, that he almost blew out his knee completely. And this was 2
I didn't
days
see
after
that.
signing.
I didn't see that.
2 days after signing a $23 million fucking contract.
Take that, Giants
and
fan.
this was like the Giants, like all the
Dude,
Giants.
he signed a $23 million fucking contract.
Yeah,
That's what
he
you just
sent
said.
a $23
It's a
million fucking
it-
contract. He has to fuck
No,
everybody.
not fucking contract. You said 23 million fucking contract.
Yes.
Just a contract for fucking. Okay, cool. Go
But
ahead.
they
where do I sign?
all the Giants people were razzing me because I was with Saquon at the time, roommates with Saquon, Shep, and now almost blew out the knee of fucking Golden Tate. I was getting so much fucking
Dude, but
shit
you
for it.
you saw like
Zurf did draw away though, dude. He drew away at the
dude, I
top of the
was-
stretch
fast.
like a
Dude,
fucking thoroughbred.
I was at the other end of it because I wanted to record it and I didn't because I just saw this whale of a man with his high school dreams flashing before him, and he's like, "You're like this guy's not
left it
gonna
on the
lose.
field, dude.
This guy's not gonna lose." And he's like, "Dude, he must have just watched Rocky or something." Because he was like a man possessed, and he ran past the finish line. You're like, you could stop.
And then he just almost died.
That
then
video is
he
one of my
almost
he
favorites.
died.
almost died. Like it was.
He was
fucking sad.
wheezing.
If Golden Tate didn't buckle that knee, he was making up ground too. When
No, because he had to run downhill, like,
Okay.
and it was thick grass. And then
Okay.
he had to run up. I mean,
Bro, I have the video. I'll put it back online.
You have
You
to.
put it after this podcast.
I will.
Please.
It is the best thing ever. I mean, it is like literally the closest to just. His leg almost just snapped off completely.
Dude, he's gonna make every dad so proud.
But you won. And back to the point, you won a lot of money without knowing it.
Dude, I won like $3,000.
What?
And I was like, what?
And Michael brought like $112.
Yeah.
How did you win $3,000? How did this happen?
$112. As little as you know.
How did he win $3,000? Tell me now. I gotta.
Michael's like, who do I owe? And he's got like $22. I'm like, I just lost $3,000 to a guy who brought $22.
And meanwhile, like Buffalo Wild Wings over here brings out a stack like this. He's ready to play. He does this all the time. And then I'm getting, people are just handing me hundreds. I was like, oh, what's that? I had no
Yeah,
idea
yeah,
what the
no
match
idea.
was for.
Oh my.
He's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're good.
I'm like, just take the money.
Meanwhile, an actor who puts a lot into preparation, golf, not so much.
Well, we need to have.
Yeah,
I
no,
want to have a match against. What's your handicap?
5.
You're a 5. Okay, so I'm a 12. So,
I'll play you straight up.
well, if there's odds that, because that's 7 strokes different. So if we do a 7-stroke game, but we have to have something fun. We'll play for something fun. We'll think of a fun prop bet.
Yeah, but I think if I play you straight up, because of the couple of times that, like, I asked some caddies, by the way, at Wilshire, and they're like, he's like a 5 or 6 every time
bullshit.
he plays.
Those guys I
so
didn't
I'll play
know.
you straight up.
I'll play it straight up, but we got to have a fun little, I want a fun little prop bet.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, so we are kind of running out of time here, but I want to know this. What is your end goal with everything, with your whole career? What would be your end goal?
I kind of have something in mind where Dude, it's I want to keep doing what I'm doing. Where I'm like, I'm a huge fan of writers. To me, there's no mind like the writers, because they come up with they say, like, what's your ideal role? I don't know. I just want to work with the best writers, best directors, because they come up with stuff that not even I like. The Science of Sleep, for instance. Like, it was a small movie. Michelle Gondry. It was Gael Garcia. With the one Spanish word, I'm like, Gael Garcia. But it's him, and I was like, I would never be able to think of something like that. So, more of those kind of projects. And then I think when I'm like 70 years old, it'd be awesome to do a sitcom. To me, sitcoms it's so hard in the beginning. I could not do them for the life of me. I tried. I tested for like 5 or 6 sitcoms. Never got any of them, because it's a different animal, and I respect those guys a lot.
Where is the world going now with, like, how like all Quibi's coming out now, this short form, like 10-minute thing?
Yeah,
so where's
is it the
going
Katzenberg
thing? So
Yeah.
like with does it? I don't know how to ask this question.
I got a
Is
meeting
it-
with them next week.
Yeah, we met with them. They said no, but
They didn't say fucking no. That was just a straight no.
but so we're like, with the way the world's going now in your field, is it hurting you at all with everything going to like digital? And
No, I think it to be honest with you, like it kind of helped certain movies, because now, like, you have YouTube and you have all these whatever different platforms showing real stuff, so that's kind of entertaining. A lot of people watch now outtakes, and so they're looking for, like, I don't know, maybe something that's more real. And that's why, like, if you think about it, even like how the Joker came out, that one is not your typical superhero movie, or whatever that kind of movie is. It's
Right.
that thing was shot pretty darn real. And I think it's changing a little bit, benefiting us, or maybe I'm just looking at it, optimistically. But I think it is changing, and I like the change. You have to, like we were talking about before, you have to embrace.
Steer into the fire.
Yeah, you don't want to be
Jon
that
Stewart
guy. You're
always
like,
says-
well, when I was a kid,
Yeah,
you
I
don't want
know.
to do that.
adapt or die, right?
So what happened with the PGA, by the way? You got banned.
I didn't get really banned. So basically, I had videos.
Well, they just said don't ever use us again.
They just sent me a tweet.
what do you call that?
It's a yellow card, okay?
It's a yellow
we got
card.
a soccer player here. It's just a yellow card. That's all.
who did you play soccer for?
I was doing videos.
Canada.
Oh,
No
she has her.
way.
She's the most impressive in the room, by the way.
What?
Yes, we're gonna turn the focus to Lauren. Actually, that's a good choice.
Okay.
Because I was a fucking gold medal in
have a
soccer.
Are you fucking kidding
I have
me?
a gold and bronze, yeah.
Holy shit, dude! And we're talking about me? What the fuck?
And now
shit.
I just retired, and now I'm working with these 2 cats. So
No way.
She really hit the
dream
jackpot.
job.
I'm gonna. You know what?
She really hit the fucking jackpot. She's with fucking Tweedledee.
went-
She's
you
with
went
Tom
gold?
and Jerry.
He doesn't invite me to any of these competitions. Like,
Yeah.
I want to golf.
Yeah, gold,
And-
Ready,
then
let's do
bronze,
this.
and now the Ripper Magoo show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Only up from
Wow.
here.
I got to look up your games now. That's awesome.
Well, we were going to have a contest because she's obviously like ridiculously good soccer player. We were going to see how many
Goaltender.
goals that you were going to be the goalie.
Yeah.
How many goals he
Can I
could
stop?
stop?
How
on
much
her.
money can I bet on her?
I'm pretty good goaltender.
Yeah, the gambling's coming.
What?
back.
What do
the
you think?
fuck ever.
What do you think the odds are for that? If she takes 10 penalty kicks, do you think she's going to go 10?
Okay,
for 10?
really quickly, just optically, look at you and then look at her.
I
She
can
looks
lose
like
weight.
she's in sick shape.
I
pal.
can lose weight. Give me.
You
I
look
can
like
lose weight. If I cut,
you look
if I
like-
cut out
Perfect for
beer,
goalkeeper.
You kind of look
No,
like at the end
I'm
of the
talking about
movie.
next weekend, pal.
I'm in either way.
We've been
I'm
talking
oh,
about
dude,
this.
But we have
I
to
want
set
in
the
on it.
line.
I
We
want
have
in
to
on
set
it.
No,
the
no.
line.
Me and you are going to commentate it. That's your.
Oh yeah, I want in on it, and all my money, whatever you decide,
Okay, hold
is on her.
What if she just misses and I don't block it? That still goes to me.
Dude, that's not even a game. That's not even a
I don't
game.
miss.
No, but it
it's
counts.
got to be like the best of 10. How many you think? You
That's
can
what.
block?
What do you guys think? How many do you think she'll make?
She's going to
Like
score.
7?
She's going to score 9 out of 10 goals on you.
No, I think she's going to score probably 7 is probably best.
Fair.
No
you
fucking
have
way.
to. Well, here's the.
No, I'm gonna act.
Hey, is he though?
Bam.
Oh,
Look at her, and then look at
Bam.
you. Kind of
Yeah,
look
I
like
know.
the end of the movie Benjamin Button. That's basically what you
He's
look
gonna
like.
cover more ground than in the goal, though.
yeah. But
right.
I can just imagine him diving, going, oh. Just that sound
It would
of.
be the best.
All right, I'll make. All right,
Brian Zerf is my inspiration. I'm gonna stop 4 goals.
No, but see, Brian
on-
Zerf had a head start. You don't have a head start, dude.
Yeah, you're just fucked.
There's not 2 of you. You know what I mean?
So here's the-
you're an
you're-
actor, dude. That's the danger
Well,
of having
easy,
an actor mind where
easy
you think
now,
that
Michael.
you can do everything because you can imagine it.
Yeah, envision
What
it.
we do is fake, man.
I'm gonna do
It's
it.
the-
I played goal.
Please tell me when and where, and I want to be there.
Wait, are you a good judge of talent, like acting was?
Yeah.
Do you have a monologue, Tim?
No, I don't have anything.
You're an actor. You don't have a prepared monologue.
I didn't prepare for the show.
Neither did I.
For a
But
monologue.
fuck.
Are you out
dude.
of my mind?
Here's your chance. You got Michael Pena. He's going
Who
to throw you in a
says-
fucking movie. He just said it, and you. Fuck. All
Oh,
right.
I just said that I was going to throw him in a movie.
Yeah.
Wait, so let's
I
go
heard
back
it.
to the PGA
That'll
and
be
then
the
we can
bet.
wrap it up. What
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
with the PGA?
PGA was simple as this. So I obviously do videos. I do spoofs over different sports. So the PGA is a little tighter than the other leagues. Like for the NFL, NBA, they love it. You know, the second I run ads through it, though, they're like, whoa, wait a minute, you can't fucking do that. But it's just free. I'm getting kids to put down Fortnite controllers to watch football.
For 10
to watch
seconds.
basketball
Yeah.
for 10 seconds with the attention span nowadays. But the PGA, plain and simple, I was doing their videos and I was doing like daily hooker, tranny jokes, dumb shit. They obviously didn't like it. They sent me a message, like a very like threatening message through Twitter.
Oh.
And they were like, hey, take down these videos. And I'm like, well, can you have somebody just give me a call so I can know more about it? Like, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then they just sent me another message that was just basically like, fuck you, take them down or else we're coming after you. So I'm like, I replied, I'm like, okay, here's the deal. I'm like, if I do take them down, which I will, I'll abide by your whatever rules. I just have to let my people know that I can't do PGA Tour videos anymore. And I knew it would kind of stir up the pot a little bit, you know. So I just kind of made a little announcement. It was like, guys, I hate to say it, it's over. We can no longer do PGA videos anymore. The big fish swallowed the little fish. Me and Peter, we're out. We can't do PGA. And they rated their fucking PGA page. I had 6,000. It was the highest engaging thing ever on PGA Tour on their Instagram. Every video that they posted was like free Bob, fuck the PGA, fuck the PGA, fuck the PGA. So, and then I kind of just let it go. But eventually it would be good. And I think it's smarter because they want to get younger kids to the game of golf.
Yeah.
So I think setting up some sort of subscription program where you can, for $2.99 or something, watch our version of how we would commentate golf.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I remember before this thing happened, I think you called me up. By the way, this guy has the most interesting way of calling people up. He's like, yeah, Mike, well, you know, can you do this? Can you? I got to call you back. Like he's putting me on hold. Wow. And at the same time, he just called me.
It's like an agent.
I was like, what? And he said, do you have any advice? I said, yeah, dude, if you can be you, but just sometimes be able to tone it down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you know, I just did Tom and Jerry. I'm not going to do the same as when I'm.
Well, this is toning it down to the podcast.
Yeah, it's toning it down, but I'm saying, you know, for golf, because it's so, you have to think there's people in Augusta National, there's like, you know, and it's all about values, like the first tee and teaching values
Tradition,
and all of it. It's
yeah.
like, this guy's Ripper Magoo, prostitute.
Yeah,
this
but
and
guess
that.
what?
You're like-
I
you're like-
believe there's a market for it. I believe
No,
there's,
there is, but at the same time, like it doesn't hurt to just go another avenue and
Right.
express yourself in this way
Right.
and say whatever you have to say, but maybe just, you know, not say the shitbag titty fuck prostitute.
Well, I mean, I did 150,000 in merch in a month on those shirts. Like, how the fuck can I change that? PGA ain't paying me. Fuck
Or
that.
then you just don't do
Then
it.
I just can't do it, you know?
exactly.
I think the goal is to, obviously, my goal is to build the first ever R-rated sports network, which we're working on now.
Yeah,
And through
that'd be
the NFL just partnered with Twitch, so we can get the rights to Thursday Night Football. So I think we're going to be maybe onto something, hopefully. We'll see.
Sounds good.
I hate to end this interview talking about myself.
Can I
but
ask something of you, Michael?
Do you want a job from him? Is that
No, because I think he's going to do it. Can you tell Michael how you're going to wrap up the show, and can you just do it in his voice? Like, thanks.
I'm
for
not going to do it,
listening.
but I want to hear how he's going to do it.
How I'm going to wrap the show? I'm going to do it regardless, but... Anyways, that's all for the Ripper Magoo podcast.
Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you, Michael. My doppelganger to my right, Mr. Pena. Timmy Bounceback, Lawrence Sesselman. It has been a pleasure. Episode 4. Michael, I consider you a dear friend.
Shout out to Sam Horsfield. who wants his name.
Sam Horsfield.
Yeah.
Sam Horsfield.
Professional golfer.
Professional golfer
European
Sam
tour.
Horsfield. Is that the only thing you want to promote here?
Like he actually texted me right before. And
Okay.
he's like, can't wait to hear it. I was like, I'll give you a shout out.
I love it.
There you go.
Fuck it. We're not promoting Tom and Jerry. We're promoting Sam Horsfield. So that's
next
it.
year.
I love it. All right, Michael, you're the best. Thank you so much, and good luck with keep doing everything you're doing. You're killing it.
Thanks.
Love it.